All strikers go through periods where they just can't seem to score, and it happens to the very best out there. All of the top strikers in today's game have had these situations, and it's so common. We've had Harry Kane, even at the start of the Euros, getting criticism because he's just not in the right position to score goals. It was only till later in the tournament that he managed to do so. And it's not just players now, legends have as well. So every single player out there has struggled in front of goal. But you've still got to realise you're in control of these situations, and there are things you can do to get back into the goals. And one of the first things is making sure you're in the right position to score. So if you get dragged out wide too often, you're going to be in positions where it's hard for you to score goals. You don't want to go too deep because you're further and further away from the goal. We want to try and place ourselves in a position that is in between the width of the penalty area. Go too wide of that or too far away from it, and it's going to be tricky for you to score. So don't work too wide away from the goal. Don't try and get outside of the width of the penalty area, or you're going to miss the chance when deliveries come into the box. So make sure you are closer to the penalty area and you do a lot of your work, or nearly all of your work, within the width of the 18-yard box. And the second tip is to try and get higher up the pitch. If we're closer to the goal, we'll score more goals. So there's sometimes situations where our strikers can drop deep to the ball, and this can come out of frustration. Dropping too deep to the ball is going to encourage the opposition back four or their back line to step higher up the pitch, squeeze the space and make it difficult for you to get on the ball. Even if you do get on the ball, you might be under pressure. So what you want to do is get higher up the pitch, and Sergio Aguero was fantastic for that. He would rarely drop too deep into midfield as he knew where he was going to score the goals from. So what we want to try and do is make sure that we are occupying the back four. So we've got chances to run in behind the defence and get through on goal. If we're dropping deep, these chances get missed, but by being high up the pitch, we can also get on the end of crosses a lot more regularly. So try and get in line with the back four, try and work by making runs in behind them, look to get on the end of crosses. But if you do drop too deep, it's going to be tricky for you. So make sure you try and get in good areas where you can get on the end of crosses. And if you drop deep, you're a long way away from goal. And we don't want to be static. We want to try and keep having good movement so that we can get in the box and get on the end of crosses or balls played in. All these top strikers have great movement. And if we just take a look at the goals from Euro 2020, there's some interesting reading for us. The vast majority of goals were scored from inside the box with one touch and potentially two or more. But the key is getting in and around that 6-yard area, that space between the penalty area and the 6-yard box. Do this with good movement and you'll score plenty of more goals. So what we want to make sure is that we're getting in positions where we can attack these areas. And when the ball goes out wide, try and get there first, beating the opposition defender to the near post and potentially to the far post if the ball is crossed in a little bit deeper. But good movement in the box is going to give you many more opportunities to score more goals. If you're static, it's going to be difficult and your chances of scoring will be less. So what we want to do is make sure we anticipate and move. Have good movement, be alert, be aware, and keep working hard for your opportunities. If you do that, the ball is going to get delivered into the right areas and you can get on the end of it. And do this more and you'll score more goals. Even the very best strikers go through these difficult periods, and it is so common. So if you're a striker, be aware that this will probably happen to you. And if it does, don't worry. You actually have control of the situation, and there are some certain things that you can do to make the situation better for you. These 3 things can help, so make sure you keep a calm, clear head, and you can definitely get yourself in a position where you can score more goals again.